beautifully explained by Kalki. I think it's very, very important in today's time to actually be the change, not just a change in a generic way, but yes, to do something better for the earth, and that's exactly what Oriflame believes in, and you as a wonderful talent here believes in that too. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce to you Mr. Naveen Anand, the new Senior Director, Regional Marketing, Oriflame, who has recently taken over the mantle. So now, my question for Mr. Anand will be the same. How does it feel to be in Oriflame family?
Very, very excited to be here. With 2 decades in direct selling, and I've been in India, and last 4 years I was in US, worked on many markets, but it's a great feeling to be here back in India and with Oriflame, a company which has had 50 years of history, a company which has big belief in safe products, a company which has big belief in science and R&D, but I think above that, a company which has a heart, a company which empowers women, and a company which does not only talk, but walks the talk when it comes to sustainability. I couldn't be more proud. Very happy to be here. Thank you for having me here.
Fantastic. Now I request Kalki and Adigu to please take their seats here on the dais. All right, well, I'm sure you've understood what's going to happen now. Well, yes, ladies and gentlemen, this was a beautiful glimpse into the world of change which you just experienced. But now the session is open to the question that you have in your mind. So any queries about anything, you may go ahead and ask. I now open the floor for the question and the answers with the esteemed guests here, and would also like to invite Ms. Shikha Duggal to please join us here for this session. Welcome to you, ma'am. So please go ahead and ask your questions. You can raise your hands and the mic. Yes, all right. Towards my right, right towards the end.
Hello. Good afternoon. Congratulations, Kalki. I'd like to know that what is the secret of your inner beauty and outer beauty?
Wow. Well, the secret of my outer beauty is not very secret. It's my parents. I think my parents are responsible for my beauty. But the secret of my inner beauty, I think, is that you have to constantly keep changing. You have to keep evolving. And when you do that, when you work on yourself and you accept yourself and the changes that are happening to you, both in your body and in your emotions and in your mind, you keep evolving, and I think that makes for beautiful people.
Beautiful.
Hi, congratulations for celebrating the Golden Jubilee year for Oriflame. It's indeed very nice to know that you have your social responsibilities as well as you are looking after the nature as well. My question is to Kalki, you being a brand ambassador for this product, you joined, congratulations for that. How your responsibility going to be towards the brand as well as in a social way also actually?
So, I mean, I think one of the reasons I'm with Oriflame is because I myself have grown up in a very sort of sustainable environment. You know, I grew up in Pondicherry in Oroville, which is a very sustainable community, which believes in organic, growth, giving back to the land, employing local people. It's, of course, women and education of the girl child has always been on top of my list. And all of these ethics, I think, are very much part of Oriflame as a brand. There are lots of things that we are constantly trying to do in our own lives to be a little more like environmentally conscious. But when you have a brand like this, you're working on a much bigger scale, because Oriflame has about 3 million people around the world working for them and through them. And it just spreads in a much more vast scale than what I do at home. For example, at home, I'm now working on separating my bins, separating wastes, plastic and dry waste and wet waste. But these are very small things that all of us can do. But then there are, brands themselves, when they come on board, you're spreading out to a much vaster audience.
Kalki, if you would like to change a beautiful change in Bollywood industry where you come from, what would be that change actually?
Very good question.
A beautiful change in Bollywood. I think it's actually already started happening, but I think writing should have a lot more priority because content is what is king nowadays, especially with the content that web has started bringing in. So I think that we should honor our writers, give them a lot of importance, because good writers are what make good movies.
Wow. So I'm sure you would have loads of questions. Please go ahead. This is the moment. You wouldn't get this opportunity again. There, on my left, yes. Can we have the mic there? All right.
Hi. So let me just begin. Congratulations on the 50 years. And Kalki, I'm a huge fan of yours. I think you're extremely thoughtful about everything you take on. And I really love that about you. Now, one thing that I have heard throughout the presentations was women empowerment, how Oriflame is supporting women empowerment. I want to know what is the most essential, what do you feel is the most essential to empowering women?
Oh, wow. What's the most essential thing? I think it's, you know, I think right now it's about what we as women, the confidence that we need to have. I think all of us are living in a society now where we have education, we have jobs for women, but there's still a sort of confidence lacking. Like I know a lot of women who feel the pressure to get married still, or you know, once they get married that maybe they should stop working for a while. And this is also because of certain laws and things that are still patriarchal. For example, we have maternity leave, but we don't have paternity leave in the same equal way. So I feel that domestic responsibility needs to be shared out more at home in order for it to work in the office environment too. You can't have women being empowered in the office but not at home. So I think that balance is our big challenge in today's time.
I'm in complete agreement. Thank you.
If you don't mind, I can add on this question.
Sure.
We have a community of Swedish companies in India, and quite often we have equality as a discussion point, because this is a very sound subject for European companies and for European culture. And here we try to behave the same way. And when you ask this question to Kalki, I was thinking, how would I answer this question? And I would add that I think respect is actually a good word. We need to respect women as an equal part of the society. We are not the same, men and women. I mean, God's created us different, but we have the same rights and we have the same opportunities. And this is what we try to embrace, that everyone have an equal opportunity to participate in the social life, in the business life, etc., etc. But the choice, of course, always back to people, but the society should treat equally and respect equally men and women. This would be a kind of our standpoint for the women empowerment.
Thank you, sir.
Hi, congrats on completing 50 years. This is Roshni from Best Media Info. My question is for either Ms. Dugal or Mr. Anand, whoever. With hashtag Beautiful Change, the new campaign that you guys are launching, will there be a mass media campaign which will follow on? And how well and how far have you been using digital to really promote? Because Oriflame is not a really retail strong brand. It's more direct sales. So how big part does digital play in your marketing?
I think, thank you for asking us this question. Digital comes across as a big opportunity for us. And through this campaign, I think we are very proud to introduce it to you. In fact, you're the one sitting out here. In fact, globally, India is the first market to introduce this campaign, and we really feel proud to do that. the bigger leg of this campaign would definitely run on digital. We are going to, this is not just a campaign for a month or so. It's what the brand believes in and what the brand wants to promote. It's all about basically collecting people and their stories from all across the globe to create this change, to create this momentum. And there is nothing better than digital that will play on this.